All right, last thing we're going to talk about in this section is something called a weighted mean from a frequency distribution. So this is going to be a lot like the last problem using this formula. The only thing that we're going to change is the frequency to a weight and your midpoint to an x or a data value, or the thing being weighted. Okay, so W is the weight and X is the item being weighted. So this would be a good thing to use, say, in a course where your teacher doesn't upload grades onto Canvas. They give you the weights and they give you like 15% of your grade will be homework, and test 1 will be 20% through test 3, and the final will be 25%. They'll give you the weights, and you'll know what your grade is once they give you your test back, so you can calculate yourself what you have or what you will get in that course instead of waiting for the teacher to or waiting for the next class period to figure out what your grade is or emailing your teacher. Okay, so what you're going to do is the first thing is get all of these percentages out of percentage and make it just a decimal. So this would be 0.15, 0.20, 0.20, 0.20, and 0.25. Okay, so the thing that's being weighted is your homework or this grade right here. So this would be 0.15 times 75, which would give you 11.25. And then you would take 0.20 times 91, which would give you 18.2. And then 0.20 times 66, which will give you 13.2. And then 0.20 times 85, which will give you 17. And last one, 0.25 times 95, which will give you 23.75. Okay, according to our formula, what we need to do is, okay, we just did this right here. The weights times the item being weighted, or the grade. We need to add all those numbers up. Okay, so this would be the summation of our weights times the thing being weighted. This will give us 83.4. The last thing we need to do is add up all of our weights as a decimal, not as a percentage. So the summation of our weights, that's going to give us 1. And then we just simply divide these two numbers. So our mean will be the summation of W times X divided by the summation of W, or 83.4 over 1, which will just be itself. Okay, so that would be your grade at the end of that semester based on these weights right here and these grades. So that's a full semester. But say you're wanting to figure out, okay, it's a couple weeks before the drop date or even the day before the drop date, and you want to figure out where you stand within the class to see if you need a drop or not. Okay, so say you've done a little bit of the homework, and this is what the current grade you have, and you've already taken 2 of the exams. Well, you do the exact same thing. You're going to change these from percentage to a decimal, and then you're going to multiply these two numbers. We already said that this was 11.25, and this was 18.2, and then this was 13.2. Okay, then we're simply just going to add this column here, which would give us 42.65, and also come here and add your weights, which would be 0.55. And then divide these two numbers, so you get 42.65 divided by 0.55, which would give you 77.54. Okay, so that would be your grade about midway through the semester.